Before the headlines, a trusted teacher vanished into darkness. What turned Lao Rongji into China's most wanted? Lao Rongji was a primary school teacher, a profession built on trust and nurturing young minds in her community. To her students and their parents, she presented an image of respectability and calm authority. She lived and worked in Jiujiang, a city in China's Jiangxi province. This was a place where neighbors knew each other and a teacher was a pillar of the community. But beneath this veneer of ordinary life, a darker story was unfolding. In the mid-1990s, a series of horrifying crimes began to surface. Crimes that would eventually be linked back to this seemingly unassuming educator and her boyfriend, Fa Ziying. The community had no idea that one of their own was leading a double life. The crimes were brutal and calculated, a stark contrast to the quiet life of a school teacher. Between 1996 and 1999, Lao Rongji and Fa Ziying embarked on a spree that spread across several cities. Chaim Ken Pesis Pin Puncturings, Samter, Der. Their method was chillingly consistent. Lao would often work in entertainment venues, like nightclubs, using her appearance to lure wealthy men into a trap. Once the target was isolated, Fa Ziying would emerge to extort them for money. This cruel partnership left a trail of terror and grief in its wake, shattering the peace of multiple communities and leaving families to grapple with unimaginable loss. The scale of their violence was shocking. In total, 7 people lost their lives at their hands. Each victim had a story, a family, and a future that was violently cut short. The crimes were not random acts of passion, but were planned with cold precision for financial gain. The details that emerged later spoke of a profound lack of empathy, of a duo who saw other human beings merely as instruments for their enrichment. For the people in the cities they terrorized, the news of these murders created a climate of fear. It was a time when a knock on the door or a friendly stranger could be a source of deep anxiety. The sudden end to their crime spree in 1999 was as dramatic as its beginning. During a confrontation in Hefei, Anhui province, Fa Ziying was cornered by police. He engaged in a shootout, was wounded, and subsequently captured. His capture brought an immediate halt to the violence, but it also marked the beginning of a new chapter in the saga. While Fa faced swift justice for his role, confessing to the murders and being executed later that same year, Lao Rongji vanished. She slipped through the cracks, disappearing from sight and leaving a gaping hole in the investigation. The shadow she cast would linger for 2 long decades. For more than 20 years, Lao Rongji became a ghost. She was a name on a wanted poster, a phantom figure in one of China's most notorious criminal cases. While the world moved on, technology advanced, cities transformed, she remained at large. She adopted new identities, constructing new lives, blending into the background. She moved from city to city, took on menial jobs, always looked over her shoulder. A masterclass in evasion, disappearing into the vastness of a rapidly changing country. The silence around her whereabouts was a constant pain for victims' families. Imagine the families left behind. Time did not heal the wounds. It deepened the questions. They had seen Fa Ziying executed, but justice felt incomplete. Lao Rongji remained free, living a life of freedom. Every year was another year without closure. The narrative remained unfinished. They attended anniversaries, they observed holidays with an empty chair at the table, haunted by an unaccountable perpetrator. For some, the memory faded. For these families, the weight was a daily burden. On the run, she wasn't just hiding. She was building a new existence. She worked in bars, later sold watches at a shopping mall counter in Xiamen. She presented as a lonely gentlewoman, cultivated a persona opposite the police files. She had a new boyfriend who knew nothing of her past. A life lived in plain sight, defying a nationwide manhunt since 1999. Her compartmentalization was chilling. Law enforcement's persistence never wavered. Even as the case grew cold, investigators kept the file open. New generations revisited old evidence. They chased new leads. The manhunt became a quiet, determined marathon, a slow, methodical promise to victims' families. The long silence was patient waiting for the one mistake. The one clue that would finally bring the hunt to an end. In 2019, Lao Rongji was finally captured. After trial and appeals, she was sentenced and ultimately executed. Please subscribe to the channel. Thank you.